Hello everyone, and welcome to my YNR Official 24 channel. Matt Clark is getting out of jail before he even goes to trial. Matt Clark is saying that the Newmans have to pay for what they did. Matt Clark wants the Newmans to pay. He's going to come up with one last plan to get back at them. Fans of the young and the restless remember that Victor Newman was not very clear about what he was going to do with Matt Clark. Nick Newman asked Victor Newman how he was going to handle Matt Clark. Victor Newman just kept saying that he would take care of Matt Clark. The show made it look like Victor was going to get rid of Matt or lock him up somewhere. Victor actually put Matt in a room at the Newman Ranch for a while. It did not make a difference in the end. The show will tell us what happened to Matt on January 26th. We will find out that Matt got arrested and he is in jail with no bail. Sharon Newman is counting on Matt being found guilty when he goes to court. She wants Matt to stay in jail for a time. Matt is the one who's in trouble and Sharon Newman is happy about that. The Newman Ranch is where Victor kept Matt for a while, but now Matt is in a lot of trouble. However, Nick will point out that he has learned by now not to underestimate Matt. Matt is a pest who just keeps coming, so it is easy to see why Nick will still be concerned about Matt. Based on Nick's comments, it will seem like the Matt story has one chapter to go. The Matt story seems to line up with the 2026 preview information when we look at what YNR head writer and executive producer Josh Griffith told TV Insider about the Matt story. Griffith said that Matt would make a lot of enemies and cause more problems for the whole Newman family. That has not really happened so far, because Matt's story has been mostly about the same people who are in Los Angeles. Griffith also said that Matt would come back when everyone thinks that the bad times are finally over. Matt is still a part of the story. Griffith said that Matt would return. The Newman clan is still dealing with a lot of issues, and Matt is one of the reasons for these problems. Matt's storyline is important to the Newman family. And just when we think he's out of the picture, we find out he's not, and we're heading towards a huge showdown that will incorporate a lot of aspects of the past in a very dramatic way, Griffith teased. Does that mean Matt will escape from police custody in the not-too-distant future? Will Matt prove he's as slippery as ever by giving his guards the slip and wreaking more havoc? Who unfastened Matt, opened the door, and let him vanish into the night? The verity is darker, messier, and far more particular than anyone imagined, and when the identity is exposed, it sends shockwaves through every major family, crumping alliances, exposing long, buried guilt, and rewriting everything we allowed. We knew about fidelity, love, and treason in the young and the restless. It all begins the night Matt was set up missing from the locked room everyone assumed was escape, evidence, the ropes neatly cut, the security system mysteriously bypassed, and not a single alarm touched off, at first criticized on defective wiring, also on Victor Newman's adversaries, also on sheer incapacity, until subtle suggestions began piling up, a familiar incense moping in the hallway, a security emblem swiped at an insolvable hour, a pulsing nanny who couldn't relatively meet anyone's eyes, and a single line in the caller log altered in handwriting that felt hauntingly familiar. As fear spread, Nick and Adam disaccorded violently over responsibility. Sharon tasted commodity was deeply wrong, and Victor went surprisingly quiet, the kind of silence that means he's formally 10 moves ahead, but no bone. Suspected the verity would cut so close to the heart. The reveal comes during a tense, late-night battle at the Newman estate when substantiation Victor believed buried ever resurfaces security footage he himself ordered canceled, now restored by a mischief tech with a heart, showing a shadowy figure approaching Matt's door. Not a masked meddler, not a hired gangster, but someone Genoa City knows and trusts. As the image sharpens, time seems to stop, and the face revealed leaves everyone stunned. It was Chloe Mitchell, but not acting alone, and not for the reasons anyone expects. Chloe, long dismissed as chaotic but inoffensive, broken but manageable, had been playing a far deeper game, driven by a blend of guilt, fear, and a secret pledge she made months before when Matt commended commodity explosive to her, commodity that intertwined important people, commodity that could get him killed if he stayed locked down and silent. The night she unfastened him was impulsive madness. It was an advised act of despair after she eavesdropped a hushed discussion suggesting Matt would be handled before he could ever swear. Shaking, Torn and induced, she was choosing the lower wrong. Chloe used her old access cannons she should no way have still had to get outside, her hands pulsing as she cut the conditions, brooding justifications as Matt goggled at her in unbelief. But then's the twist that sends his plot into full meltdown. Chloe didn't plan the escape alone. Staying in the murk, orchestrating the timing, icing the cameras went dark for exactly 90 seconds, was Kevin Fisher, the man everyone allowed had eventually gone straight. Kevin, who owed Matt a debt from times agone, who believed letting him rot would lead to bloodshed far worse than the chaos of escape, made a cataclysmal choice that now threatens to destroy his marriage, his fragile redemption, and his relationship with the Chancellor family ever. When the verity comes out, it detonates like a lemon. Billy explodes in rage, criminating Chloe of manipulating Kevin's sins. Lauren is torn between fidelity to family and horror at what Kevin's done. Michael Baldwin is forced into an insolvable position as legal lines blur and prosecutors circle. Meanwhile, Matt, now on the run, proves far more dangerous than anyone anticipated, leaving cryptic dispatches, exposing secrets online, and intimating that his escape was only phase one of a much larger plan. As Genoa City rolls, the fallout spreads fast. Victor realizes this was an attack from outdoors, but a treason from within, egging him to strain his grip on everyone he loves. Adam sees echoes of his own history and fears he'll be criticized next. Sharon spirals as she connects blotches that suggest Matt knows intimate details about her remedy sessions. And Nick is left questioning whether anyone in this city can truly be trusted. Chloe, brazened at society in a ruinous public showdown, eventually breaks down, confessing through gashes that she no way wanted to be an idol or a villain. She just didn't want another death on her heart, and her concession divides the city, with some condemning her recklessness and others still admitting they might have done the same. Kevin, meanwhile, prepares to turn himself in, only to be stopped when new substantiation suggests the order to silence Matt came from a source far more important than anyone imagined, shifting dubitation back toward commercial boardrooms and shadow deals. The identity reveal doesn't close the chapter, it rips it wide open, because Matt's freedom triggers a chain response of backstabbings, apprehensions, surprise alliances, and emotional reckoning that will define the coming bow of the young and the restless. Trust is shattered, love is tested, and Genoa City is forced to defy an uncomfortable verity. Occasionally, the most dangerous adversary isn't the one locked behind a door but the bone who decides to open it. Matt escapes from jail before trial, vows Newmans must pay, becomes the most explosive, youthful, and the restless spoiler suckers have rumored about in times, and this is the kind of jaw-dropping chaos that changes the power structure of the city overnight. In a twist that feels ripped straight from the darkest corners of the Newman family's long, bloody history, Matt, long believed to be securely locked down, stripped of influence, and awaiting a humiliating public trial, pulls off a daring, surgical escape that leaves authorities scrabbling, a bet is shaken, and adversaries firmed in fear, because this isn't a sloppy jailbreak or a lucky accident. This is a calculated evaporating act carried out with perfection, tolerance, and one intimidating communication left behind. The Newmans will pay. The escape itself unfolds under the cover of a stormy night, thunder rattling the captivity walls as a power outage excessively knocks out cameras for exactly 7 twinkles, a detail that incontinently raises red flags and whispers of inside help, because nothing about Matt has ever been impulsive. He's a chess player, not a bickerer, and every move he makes is designed to force his adversaries into fear and miscalculations. Guards latterly swear they heard admonitions, but by the time backup arrived, Matt's cell door was open, conditions neatly placed on the bunk, and the man himself gone without a trace, as if he'd faded into thin air, leaving behind only a folded note etched with poisonous clarity: justice is coming for the Newmans. By daylight, Victor Newman is formally marshalling his coffers, his jaw gripped in that familiar sword trap expression that signals war, because Victor knows better than anyone that when a wronged adversary escapes guardianship, it's no way about freedom, it's about vengeance. Nikki senses it too, Visited by recollections of once adversaries who resurfaced at the worst possible moments, her hands pulsing slightly as she tries to mask fear with strength, while Victoria goes straight into damage, control mode, calling in favors, locking down Newman Enterprises, and ordering discreet security upgrades that only confirm to Outlanders that commodity veritably bad is coming. Nick, meanwhile, reacts with a blend of wrathfulness and unbelief, furious that the system failed so fully and bothered about who Matt might target first, especially as whispers begin circulating that Matt is en alone, that he is abettors both outside and outdoors Genoa City who believe the Newmans ruined their lives and are ready to help him strike back. As details trickle out, it becomes clear that Matt's trial would have exposed secrets he was no way planning to partake in court, fiscal back channels, hidden alliances, and a list of names that could have dragged important numbers down with him, so his escape isn't just about avoiding captivity. It's about controlling the narrative and choosing the battleground. The most nipping development comes when a burner phone videotape shells online, shot in shadow. Matt's voice distorted but unmistakable as he vows that the Newmans conglomerate was erected on falsehoods, blood, and stolen power, and that he's done playing defense, promising that every secret buried by Victor will be dragged into the light one by one, starting with the people Victor loves most. The city reacts incontinently. Phyllis smells occasion and peril in equal measure, wondering how Matt's vendetta might cross with her own grievances. Jack Abbott pretends impartiality, but still tightens security at Jabot, knowing that any Newman implosion tends to produce contributory damage for everyone in their route. Sharon feels a deep apprehension, seeing that this surge of violence and retaliation will pull innocent people under if it isn't stopped soon. Meanwhile, law enforcement is under fire, scrabbling to explain how such a high-profile internee dissolved so fairly, and rumors swirl that substantiation was tampered with, guards bought, and digital logs altered days in advance, suggesting that Matt's reach extends far beyond captivity walls. The most intimidating possibility, still, is that Matt has been planning this escape for months, perhaps times, studying Newman routines, sins, and emotional fault lines, staying for the perfect moment to strike when the family is formerly fractured and vulnerable. Victor intimately downplays the trouble, averring Matt is a hopeless fugitive who'll be caught, but intimately he knows the verity. Matt knows where the bodies are buried, directly and perhaps literally, and he has nothing left to lose. Nikki worries about their grandchildren, averring on redundant protection, while Victoria clashes with Victor over strategy, criminating him of creating adversaries who always come back to hang them, a bitter argument that exposes long-standing cracks in their alliance. Nick, unfit to sit still, starts digging on his own, retracing Matt's history connections, uncovering a disturbing pattern of shell companies, coastal accounts, and enciphered dispatches that suggest Matt has formerly deposited himself to hit the Newmans financially, socially, and emotionally all at formerly. Also comes the first strike, a unforeseen stock change linked to an anonymous tip that sends Newman Enterprises shares wobbling, not disastrous but precise, like a warning shot across the arc, followed by another communication delivered to Victor's office, a single chess piece, the king, snapped fairly in half. The symbolism isn't lost on anyone. As fear spreads, old adversaries resurface, seeing blood in the water, and alliances shift overnight, because in Genoa City, power is everything, and the scuttlebutt that Victor Newman can be hurt is enough to buoy people who've been staying times to take their shot. The question that haunts everyone is what Matt's wind-up really is. Does he want plutocrat, public exculpation, total destruction, or commodity far more particular? Some believe he's targeting Victor directly, while others sweat Nikki is the real focus, given her once involvement in opinions that sealed Matt's fate, and there are indeed whispers that one of the Newman children intentionally holds the key to Matt's ultimate plan. As days pass with no sign of Matt, the silence becomes unsupportable, each quiet moment more intimidating than an attack, because it means he's watching, staying, calculating. Victor eventually makes a move of his own, reaching out to a doubtful supporter from his history, signaling that he's willing to cross lines he swore he no way would again to cover his family, indeed if it means getting the villain in someone additional story. The stage is set for a showdown that promises backstabbings, shocking reveals, and unrecoverable consequences, because when a man like Matt escapes before trial, it's no way just about running, it's about rewriting the rules and forcing the most important family in Genoa City to face the ghosts they allowed. We're locked down ever. And as the final words of Matt's oath echo through the city, the Newmans must pay. One thing becomes terrifyingly clear: this war is only beginning, and by the time it ends, Genoa City will no way be the same again. Genoa City thinks things are bad now. They are about to get even worse. The news of Matt's escape is causing a lot of problems, and people are really scared. This is the start of something very bad. Matt is. Nobody knows where he is. It has been hours, and then days. Nobody has seen him. This is making everyone feel very nervous. Matt is good at hiding and being quiet. He likes to wait and see what people will do. Matt likes to use the quiet to scare people and make them wait to see what he will do next. Victor's enemies are closing in on him. They are like vultures waiting for their moment to strike. The idea that the great Victor might finally be in trouble is making them bolder. At the time, people are sending secret information to the media. This information is about scandals that Victor had managed to keep hidden for decades. These leaks are written in a careful way to make sure they cause the most damage to Victor. The people who are doing this want to make sure that everyone remembers the things that Victor did a long time ago. Victor's enemies are really going after him now. Nikki is really into watching the news these days. She feels like every headline is talking directly to her. It is scary. This one report really got to her. It said something about information coming out about Matt's case. This new information could say some things about the Newman family. It could say they made some choices that they did not want people to know about. Victoria is trying hard to make it seem like everything is okay. It is not working. People who work with her are starting to ask questions. They want to know if Victor's personal problems are hurting the company again. The Newman family is having a time right now. Nikki and Victoria and the rest of the Newman family are all worried about what might happen with Matt's case and the company. Nick is getting more and more reckless. He wants to find Matt himself because the police are not doing anything. Sharon is worried that Nick is doing what Matt wants. Matt wants the Newmans to be upset and fighting with each other. He wants them to be desperate. Then something worse happens. Someone breaks into a storage unit that belongs to a company of the Newmans. They take everything from the storage unit. Nobody knows what happened to the stuff. This means Matt might have proof of secrets that Victor has been keeping from his family. The Newmans are in trouble because Matt has something that could hurt them. Nick and the Newmans are getting really scared. Matt is getting what he wants. The Newmans are emotional and divided. Panic sets in when Victor figures out what is really going on, and for a moment he is quiet. This silence from Victor makes everyone think the worst. At the time, people are talking about Matt being seen outside of Genoa City. It seems like Matt is doing this on purpose, letting people talk and spread rumors so the police get confused and do not know what to do. This makes people think that Matt is always one step ahead of everyone, including the police, and that Matt is really smart and can outsmart anyone, the authorities, and that is what makes Matt so scary. Matt is always in control. Phyllis does not like to ignore problems, so she starts looking into Matt's life on the computer because she thinks the person who helped him get away might be someone they know, and that person might be closer than they think. Meanwhile, Jack is thinking to himself, if he helps the Newmans now, will that help him later, or will it get him into trouble too? Things get really bad when a handwritten letter shows up at the Newman ranch, and it gets past all the security people. It is addressed to Victor. It says, "You taught me patience. Now I will teach you about loss." This one sentence is really scary for the family. It makes them think that Matt is not going to get his revenge away, or in a way that they can see. Instead, he is going to do it carefully, and it is going to hurt them a lot. He is going to hurt them in ways they do not expect. Nikki wants the family to be together, but when people are scared, they tend to be alone. Each member of the Newman family starts keeping secrets to themselves. They do not know who Matt might already be controlling. The Newmans are very unsure about what Matt might do to them. As night falls over Genoa City, you can feel that something big is going to happen. Everyone knows that the Newmans are in trouble. This story is not going to end with someone getting arrested. It is going to end with the Newmans facing the consequences of their actions. Matt is still there, and he is very angry. He has a lot of information that can hurt the Newmans. He is not afraid to use it. The Newmans do not like this. They have to play by Matt's rules now. Matt thinks he has already lost everything, so he has nothing to lose. One thing is certain, when Matt finally steps